Well, would you look at that, Payday 3's out. Let's take a look at it on the ROG Ally. We'll take a look at a few presets and just see how it runs to give you a general idea of what you can expect. We're not going to be tweaking anything too much, just see if we can get it in a nice playable state. But before we do, most of you who have seen our videos before will know that we go straight into the testing, but there's a few things with this that we just need to talk about. Now, just to get to the main menu of this game, I had to create an account. I don't want to create an account. I don't care enough about your game to make an account. I bought it on Steam, just link it to my Steam account. Why are you complicating this? And if you are going to require me to make an account, here's the little secret. Make sure your website works. Because yours doesn't. It took me 20 minutes to be able to make an account. I appreciate it's launch day. And people are going to jump in and say, it's launch day, you've got to give them time to fix the problems. No, if you're going to take money, then make sure your website works. It looks like something straight out of a GoDaddy template, for goodness sake. Next point. Solo queuing. Where the heck is it? I had to go in and ruin some other nice player's day to get these footage. That's just not cool. There is a way to get solo queuing by changing it to invite only, but for the life of me, it just never did anything. I sat there waiting for 10 minutes for a solo queue, which is just pointless. And then upon cancelling it, the whole game reduced itself down to 1 frame per second until I restarted it. And then there's the cherry on the top, the thing which really rubbed me the wrong way before I even got started. To change the resolution of the game, because the buttons in the settings didn't work, I had to go into an INI file to change it to 1080p. In 2023, I had to change an INI file to change my resolution. Let that sink in just a little bit. Do you remember doing that back on Windows XP? Or maybe when you were playing Medal of Honor or Star Trek Voyager Elite Force or something? It is 2023. I should not have to change an INI file to change my resolution. If the buttons on your game don't work, don't release your game. Simple. Anyway, before I give myself an aneurysm, let's get started. Kicking things off at 720p with everything set to low on balanced FSR, and it's not a great showing at 15 watts, looking at sub 30 FPS, mostly in the low 20s. I didn't really expect that not to be the case. It's a brand new game, not everything's going to work at 15 watts, so just wouldn't bother here. It is probably going to be better when you get indoors, but outside it plays terribly.
The door through the gate is magnetically sealed.
Moving up into ultra performance FSR instead of balanced, and it's a little bit better. On the populated street, we're still getting high 20s, low 30s, but when we move out of that and go into a scene with slightly less people, we do see it go into the 50s. I still think this would probably be a little bit inconsistent. It might be a lot better indoors, but I certainly wouldn't want to play it this way, especially when it looks like this. It makes it look absolutely like sin. So technically, yes, you could play it like this, but it really depends what you want out of it.
Come on, follow me. Let's keep it civil.
Time to get rich. All right.
Don't move a muscle. Move and I'll pull the trigger. Stop!
Oh, shit.
Ah, shit, there goes our cover. Gonna scram.
Time to switch plans.
Now, moving up to 25 watt, and we will remain in 25 watt for the rest of the testing. I can't seem to see any reasonable way to do this at 15 watts. And on low settings for balanced FSR, it's actually remarkably playable. Outside, you're still pretty inconsistent. It's moving around a lot between the 30s and the 50s. But on average, it's staying around the high 40s, 50s, and when you get indoor, you are seeing 60 sometimes. So, yeah. This is probably a decent way. If you can stomach 720p, it'll probably be a lot of fun like this.
Oh, God, no!
Almost there. 30 seconds. Be right back.
Keeping the same balanced FSR, but putting the settings up to medium, it's not too different. We're sitting more in the 40s and 50s indoors than closer to the 60s. It's still totally playable though. For the extra graphical fidelity, this might be a worthy trade-off.
asshole! I can take anything!
The thermite will burn faster if you add more bags of it. But don't fucking overdo it.
Explosion! Damn, that was I killed the fucking shell! You can't win!
Here comes the drop.
Time to clean.
Keeping the same medium settings and bumping FSR up to performance instead of balanced, and it doesn't really make all that much of a difference. We're still sitting between the 40s and mid 50s, occasionally getting close to the 60s. To be honest, I'd probably take balanced FSR over this, just so that you're not getting as much of that graphical schmear that it tends to apply.
Sniper, no sniping!
Well done, team. But keep your masks on. This isn't over yet. Joy.
Now, moving on up into happy 1080p territory, starting off at 25 watts, low settings on performance FSR, and it's not bad at all actually. We're talking high 30s occasionally, but mid 40s for the most part. I actually quite like it at this setting. I think if I was going to go for it, this is probably how I'd do it.
First I missed my train. Now I'm getting robbed.
God damn it.
Go inside and locate the vault. Time to switch plans.
Got a key card!
You're gonna need thermite to burn your way into the vault. I'm sending in the chopper for an equipment drop.
Taking that FSR to ultra performance, yes, it does perform a little bit better, staying in the 50s more often than not, but it looks like an absolute dog's dinner. Very blurry, very difficult to see what's actually going on, and to be honest, I saw a fair bit of ghosting that you tend to get when you push FSR a little bit too far. Probably wouldn't want to go with this.
Here we go.
So, what's the best way to do it? I mean, in my honest opinion, as somebody that got kind of annoyed just getting this thing working, it would be not playing it. But that's not why you're here. 1080p, 25 watt, low preset, well, not preset I suppose, just set everything to low. And the performance FSR. Occasionally dipping into the high 30s, but for the most time in the 40s. Switch off that FPS counter, let VRR do its job, you'll never know the difference. If you'd rather stick with 720p, then yeah, you've got options. You've got a fair few options, but definitely stay out of 15 watt. There's just no real way to get this running very nicely on there. Yeah, you could, but you're not going to have a great time. It's going to look terrible. Anyway, I hope this helped you out. If it did, be sure to leave a like, maybe subscribe. We've got plenty more to come, and lots more testing videos in the bag. Take a look at the playlist on our channel.